Hello, welcome to the Salem Region Indivisible YouTube channel. Here you can find recordings of our past meetings. We do 2 meetings a month. The second Wednesday of the month, we do an in-person hybrid Zoom meeting. And then the last Wednesday of the month, we do a exclusively Zoom meeting that is just like check-ins from the work group folks. So Salem Region Indivisible is kind of like this big sprawling thing with a lot of stuff going on. And there are these individual work groups that have specific focuses of different things that they're working on at any given time. So we did not have our incredible Anna Rose, who is our immigrant support work group leader, to do her report. So she sent one in. So I'm just going to read it for you really quick. We have a core group of volunteers who continue to provide human rights observer coverage when requested, help with the Mano a Mano food bank activities, and will possibly start delivering groceries to people afraid to go out. When we know of upcoming trainings to be an HRO, which is a human rights observer, we will post them. And then there is, if you're looking right now for a place to volunteer to, Salem for Refugees is an organization helping refugees from other countries get settled in the community. People interested in volunteering should refer to their website, salemforrefugees.org. Anna Rose is recovering from back surgery during the month of February. So if you would like to reach out to someone to ask questions or figure out how you can support our immigrant support work group, you should reach out to Kathy Van Enkevoort. I hope I didn't butcher that. It's the first time I've ever said her last name out loud. So, okay. We also do a lot of our organizing on Slack, and Kathy had suggested that I tell folks to go read a message that she posted on Slack. The highlights are that it was from Unidos, and they're basically saying that a Customs and Border Patrol helicopter had been flying over the Newburgh area and Woodburn in like Yamhill County. They tracked it to McMinnville and Amity area. Our ask, Unidos' ask, is that if you have any connections in agriculture, farms, vineyards, nurseries, etc., to help spread the word and make sure that they know to call the Unidos hotline if needed. They have a rapid response coordinator who's happy to connect directly with any employer in Yamhill County to help develop workplace protocols, share resources, and provide preparation and support for employees. And then the number for their immigration response hotline is 503-272-1809. It looks like you can call or text to get in touch with them, specifically for Yamhill County. You can call or text to report ICE activity, report or verify a detention, and share vehicle information or pictures. I know on the social media side of things, in relation to immigration support, we have gotten a lot of messages of folks saying that they would like to help deliver groceries to families who are at risk. I would ask that if you are someone who's never participated in Salem Region Indivisible stuff beforehand, that you show up to a meeting, come hang out with us, meet us, see what's going on. We will ask for help when we need folks to do those kinds of jobs. The folks who are going to end up doing those jobs are going to be people that we are established with and have met and have known and have chatted with. So we'd love to come have you at any of our meetings. We do monthly riot art. We do 2 monthly meetings, one online and then the ones that are hybrid. Here's the rest of the Zoom. If you have any questions or you would like to assist with anything, we would love to hear from you. Salem OR Indivisible is our Instagram. If you would like to go to our website to check out our events calendar, you can do that at salemregionindivisible.org. And then, just thank you so much for being here. Here's the Zoom.
Who would like to report out for recruiting and onboarding? That's the first one on my list.
I can start. For those who don't know me, my name is Dustin. I am part of the steering group, and I am also working with the recruiting and onboarding team. I'll just give you a quick summary of what we're working on currently. We are working on streamlining the process for folks to be able to join. We're making it as automated as possible so that it's just a QR code that takes people to a process where it's very clear in how they can get into and become involved with Salem Region Indivisible. We've also been working on some surveys, which some of you may have already filled out, for getting at what people are interested in. And with that, if she's ready, I will turn it over to Dawn, because Dawn has been doing most of our work with the information we're gathering from surveys.
Now I'm unmuted.
There we go.
I'm Dawn. I'm not being antisocial for some reason. For the very first time, Zoom won't let me turn on my camera, so here we are. Based on the member survey for interest, we had 71 people fill that out. which is not a very good number considering how many people we have signed on, but I'm hoping that it will get better. From that information, I took the members' comments on what they liked and did not or were not interested in, and sort of grouped them together according to their interests that were listed on the survey. All of this is captured in a Google Sheets spreadsheet on our group drive. And so if you are on that or want to get on that, you can take a look at that spreadsheet, and it's divided up by subject matter. And the people on each subject page, which are listed at the bottom, are the people that are interested in that subject. From that, it got a little bit more manual, and I did some personal outreach and emailed people in the various groups, um, directed them to the most similar work group that is listed on Slack, asked them to get involved with Slack. If they were not involved with Slack, I asked them to email me and I would arrange for them to get involved, introduce themselves on Slack. We haven't had a lot of response to that. And so if you are very active in one of the work groups and want to do some personal outreach, you could go to that Google sheet and find the page that is most like what you are working on and do some personal outreach on yourself, by yourself, because we're kind of down to that. However, all of this will be much more automated once we do the transition, hopefully in the next couple days, to our new mail server. And so that'll get a little bit easier. Still, um, new people to activism, they need some love. They need some personal outreach. And so if you can do that, that's great. I've probably reached out to 3 or 4 dozen people and got responses back from maybe 5. So there we are. That's pretty much all I have to say about what I've been
Okay.
working on.
Thanks, Don.
Thanks, Don. Really appreciate the work that you've done for recruiting and onboarding.
Yes, absolutely. And we expect that, it's going to be a lot easier to expand more quickly with less effort coming up here. So we need to have a good onboarding team ready to help us with that. Dustin, did you have anything else from recruiting and onboarding you wanted to share, or we good?
I think that's most of it. We're working to integrate our systems and streamline things. That's the biggest thing we're working on right now.
Yeah. Okay. Infrastructure for the win. All right. Who would like to report out from events is the next one I wrote down.
Oh, my cat was here a second ago, but she disappeared. Sorry. She might show back up. So hi, I'm Meg. I'm on the steering team, but very active with events and campaigns. And I'm going to give you, I have exciting announcements, and then I'll give you a little bit about what we're working on. So in case you missed it, just today, National Indivisible announced that No Kings 3 is coming up on Saturday, March 28th. The theme is Eyes on Ice, and please spread that word so that people get it on their calendars and in their heads. We don't have details yet, but details will be forthcoming. But it's really important to just get the word out that there's a No Kings 3 on March 28th and get people excited about it. Personally, I get asked a lot, when's the next No Kings? And I have just always said, April, March, like when the weather's a little bit more reliable for other parts of the country. So that's very exciting. And then there's a national effort on this Saturday, which is the 30th, is that right? This coming Saturday.
33rd.
31st. Thank you. For nationwide demonstrations and protests on the theme of no thrones, no crowns. So this is a stand with Minnesota, stand against occupation. We're treating it as a pop-up demonstration for us, so it's going to be a little on the fly, but we'll be there at Center and Summer. Center and Summer, the usual place. Did we set a time, team? Are we just gonna do, we didn't come up with a time, but
The normal Saturday protest is from noon to 2.
yeah,
So
yeah,
the
so
weekly
we'll
Saturday
align
protest
with
is noon to
that.
2.
Yeah, thanks. I was gonna say it'll start at noon and I'm not sure how long it'll go, but at least noon to 2 and possibly longer. But again, we'll have some details out really soon because that also just got announced today. So prepare for your no kings, no thrones, you know, that all your signage, and spread the word amongst your friends and neighbors. And let's try and get as many people out as we can. And watch the emails and the Slack communications and stuff because there'll be more graphics that you might want to share on your socials. Okay, those are the two exciting announcements. Our big project in events right now is, or our current project, it's actually our big project, but it's not gonna stay our big project for very long with these marches. But we're working to develop an interfaith vigil to honor and grieve the people who have died and been detained and disappeared by ICE. It will be in collaboration with a number of faith communities, both Christian, Judeo, and other faiths. And it's still coming together. It'll be a moving vigil, we think, so a march of some sort. We are still defining the where and the how, but if this is of interest to you, especially if you work or have relationships and attend a faith community whose leader might want to participate in the planning or developing ideas with us, please step up. The best person to contact would be Kim, and I think her Slack handle is Kim D. Does that sound right? Yeah, Kim D, KIMD, on Slack. And so reach out to her and say, hey, I heard about the vigil and I want to help or participate. And because we always need more help, and especially people who already have connections in faith communities will be really, really important, which aligns with one of the Day Without an Immigrant series of days that are being organized by, is Mano a Mano doing that or is it PQN? Sorry, I'm not remembering.
I think it's Oregon for All.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
But I think that date is March 16th.
16.
16.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had it wrong in my notes. So 16th does sound right from last.
It's a Monday. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a Monday.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you.
No.
Yeah, so that's part of the Oregon for All Day Without an Immigrant. They're doing a series of monthly events, and different organizations are participating on different in different months. So we'll be working with the Hispanic communities and the farm worker communities or organizations in our vicinity, Mano a Mano, and others to collaborate on that event. So if that's of interest to you, please contact Kim. We're starting to develop some thoughts on voter registration that might not come out of events, but might come out of a group under the local elections work group. So if there's someone from who wants to segue into that, Kathleen, were you going to talk about that work group?
I'm not as plugged in on the voter registration, but there has been some discussion. I don't know if somebody else is
I don't
online.
think so. I think it just
Yeah.
was being tossed around last night. And
Yeah,
so
and about putting information out at our tents to make sure people are registered to vote or if they want to change their party affiliation for the primaries, because yes, but I can mention that.
okay, well, that's all I have right now, unless anyone has questions they want to ask.
On the voter registration, I think it's really important if anybody is really going to do that, that they also do a get out the vote, because there's not a lot of point in registering new people if they don't vote. So the two things really have to go together, in my view.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I think, Peter, that once our endorsement process gets started, that it is probably going to follow that if we're endorsing people, then, we're probably also going to be working, encouraging canvassing, like, doing those kinds of get out the vote types of things as well. But definitely you have way more experience in that sort of thing probably than I do anyway. So any input or advice on that is welcome. Riot Art, go Autumn.
I can't remember how to do this from COVID. It's been a while now, but like if you want to share the screen, I can, or how do I do that?
I think you just go down and click on share,
Oh,
Ann,
can I
and you
just
can
share
share.
it?
Anybody can share.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Am I doing it? Okay, wait, not yet.
Not,
Okay.
not yet. But yay!
Yay. Okay. Is it working? Oh my gosh. Okay. So, this is just kind of for fun. This is a social opportunity for people who are interested in getting together and doing some creative resistance. Riot Art meets once a month. This is what we did. Let's see, in December, right here. Here's some just kind of snippets of what we've done. We definitely kind of take email information and kind of share current reading recommendations and what we're making, and each of these things that you can see on there, I try to make a link to, so if people have a good recommendation, you can access it. We meet at my school, which has been wonderful about supporting us. It's about a 3-hour session on a Saturday or a Sunday. Here are just a few of some of the things that we've done. Kindness clothespins. We've done some resistance collage. And all of these things are still available to do when we meet. If you're interested in one of those, we've done some blackout poetry. Ultimately, my goal and hope, it was very selfish. It was, as we're navigating this rise of authoritarianism, I needed some sort of outlet, and creativity and art has been kind of my escape. And so I'm trying to find ways to take care of myself, but also, put some of these things out there. So some of the things we're also trying to do is something kind of called Finders Keepers. We've done protest peg dolls and protest rocks, and the goal and the hope is that people will make these and then place them out there in their community. We have a button maker, which is nice, and we can always make some new buttons. Here's our last session, which was actually pretty popular. I think at its peak, we had about 22 people show up. Good environment, lots of people creating, doing stuff, and just kind of getting an opportunity to socialize with like-minded people. One of the things I'm really proud of, kudos to Elise for bringing stuff to make perk bracelets. I think that's huge. And then sharing those perk bracelets with younger folks. And also, if you haven't seen these new stencils that have made their way out in the community, I just want to kind of show you real quick. Okay, clicking through here. Bear with me. Oh, more fun stuff.
For Kendra, the
Oh
the
gosh.
stencils that we made said, or that really Elise made, said, I subducted someone here. And Elise has been putting them up everywhere around town where someone has been abducted by ICE.
Autumn,
But
Yeah.
Autumn contributed too. She and I designed them both. So
It's a collab. But here's an image of Elise putting some out there, and actually I drove by them today, and it was really fun to see them in person. Just noting that ICE has abducted someone here, and then the ICE death toll rate says 38. Sadly, it needs to be changed to 39. But some of these images are getting out there on our socials, and then also on a more positive note, we have some like kindness clothespins making their way out into the community too, which is kind of fun to see. So it's really cool to see people share their art and stop sharing. Let's see here, sorry. And put those things out there in guerrilla fashion. With that said, just to let you guys know, I'm going to be starting a Riot Art channel on Slack. It'll be a creative place for people to tap into to advertise things, share their art, and get updates on art related activism, as well as, oh, and also the next Riot Art is scheduled for Sunday, February 22, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And I think that's all I got.
Thank you.
But just a reminder to everybody that anytime we post visual images or talk about things that are visual, it's helpful for people who are blind to have the description of them. There's a thing you can do on pictures called alt text. It's text as an alternative to the visual image where you describe the image that you're posting, and then that lets people with vision issues access it also. Okay, so next on the list is Tom Gapin with communications, social media, and all that jazz.
Hi, I don't have to really introduce myself. I think pretty much everybody knows me, but I'm on the steering committee, and I always say this, everything else. So I'm just going to talk for a couple of minutes about Facebook, and then I'm going to hand it off to Felix, who has some exciting numbers to announce, and then Linda will have a couple of minutes. The three of us work in communications and social media. So I want to talk for just a minute about Facebook because this is astonishing what's happened in the last 28 days. We've had on our Facebook, not our Instagram, which those numbers are just ridiculous. They're sick. But on Facebook, we've had 243,000 views in the past 28 days, which is just ridiculous. And for example, it spiked like crazy in January. New Year's Eve, we had 42 views. January 2nd, we had 43 views. January 25th, we had 38,000 views.
Oh my God.
From 75,000 viewers, 85% of which are non-followers. So these are people who got to us some other way. They're not just already, on our Facebook or friends or have, liked our Facebook. These are new people. And I think it has a lot to do with, what's happening in Minnesota. People are just pissed off and they're looking for somewhere to vent their frustration or, see what other people are doing and the pictures and all of that. Like we had on Saturday, January 24th, 46,000 views on one of the videos that I shot from the march, 8,000 on another video, 11,000 on a still image of just the people out lined up on the street. It's just a crazy amount of views. And so I don't think I'm alone on this, but I'm pretty excited about how Facebook is kind of blowing up. And I see that it's just going to get a lot better, bigger, cooler, awesomer.
I have a question, Tom.
Yes.
Do you think it, particularly related to Facebook, do you think there's any possibility that it has anything to do with us finding the admin for Salem Indivisible? Like, could he have put something out on that page referring people to us, or do we know?
I, the quick answer is no. I don't think that at all, although it is possible.
Not that kind of numbers, I would say no.
Yeah.
No.
I think things went viral. A couple of the videos just went viral.
Yeah.
People were sharing and sharing and sharing.
So
Well, they
that's
did,
all I have.
they
Go
did say,
Felix.
they did say that with so much of the country in an ice storm, a lot of people were home on social media, and that's also like watching all the things that were happening in Minneapolis. So maybe that's part of it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense to me. Um, okay, I'm gonna try to share my screen. We'll see if it works. Oh, it knows I have so many screens. Oh no. Oh, great.
There we
Can you
are.
guys see that? Is that okay?
Yep.
All right, cool. Kendra, this is mostly words. I will upload the file into the chat so that your like screen reader can look at it. It says the state of SRI social media youth engagement. So I've been doing some Instagram stuff. I was looking at the analytics, and over the past 3 months, we're up 1,227 followers, which is great. We have 1,700 followers total right now. So yeah, that's really good. I think that that has to do with a lot of things, partially the state of the world being bad, and sort of like that under 40 group being primarily on Instagram, that being like a good place to reach them. And like, I don't know, like my peers are like very concerned about what's going on. So they want to plug into what's happening. We've been focusing on like I've made a few like sit and chat style videos, sort of like explaining things that folks can do. Those have done pretty well. Linda's been making some incredible original content. She had a really cute like boycott Black Friday turkey one that got 17,000 views, almost 18,000, which is great. Particularly for like a still image that I don't even think has an audio on it. Like that's crazy numbers. Anyway, amazing. And it's because art is cool and AI sucks. And we all know that. But anyway, it's great. She just did another really cool one today. But in the past 3 months, yeah, our top like most viewed videos. There was one of me talking about, calling your representatives that got 386,000 views. So that was kind of cool. We didn't get that. Yeah, we didn't get that many followers from that one. I think it was only like 200 followers. The next most views is Autumn speaking at City Council, which makes sense because she's amazing, and that got 80,000 views. And then after that, it's me talking about the ice like permit that they were trying to do in Waldport that is not happening now. But that one got like 40,000 views, and even though it's like less views, I think it got us like 300 followers. So
Nice.
those are like worth it to like put the time into and do. We are trying to get folks who are members or who have been to an SRI event or anything to submit content. When I can figure out how to unshare my screen and type in the chat again, I will post the link that's like a Google form that we have for folks to submit content for us to post. If that's the kind of thing you're into, we would love to see what you've got. Let me know. This is kind of just like a trial run we're doing of the form. So we're just going to see what happens. We practiced and I think it'll be fine. But anyway, so that's good. On YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, hello. But we are having the Zoom footage now of past meetings available for folks to watch on YouTube, which is another thing that's kind of, I would say, crucial for that like under 40 group. People are less likely to show up in person to something for the first time, not knowing like what it looks like and what the vibe is. But if they've seen a meeting on YouTube as they were like cleaning their house or doing whatever, then they might show up, which would be awesome because we're not scary, we're fun here. And then on Reddit, I haven't been on the dedicated SRI account, but I have just been like occasionally posting like flyers for protests and things. And then most recently, if I'm posting something that is like about SRI, I'm like, if you have any questions about like how you can further get involved, feel free to comment below or like DM me. And I've gotten some like really lovely, like good faith interactions of folks who are concerned for their neighbors and just like aren't really sure how to help. Yeah, and that's been really good. And then this is a screenshot of our age range analytics on Instagram. It's 7.7% 18 to 24, 25.3% 25 to 34, and then 27% 35 to 44. So I know that like obviously Meta sucks and we hate it and we hate, the guys who own Facebook and Instagram, but like currently like that is where the like 40 and under crowd are, and those are the folks who are like not voting enough and not speaking up and engaging. So I think it's really crucial that we continue to be on there. And
Very
then
good.
if anybody has any questions, that's cool. But if not, I'll hand it over to Linda.
So I know everybody probably knows who I am, but just in case, I'm Linda Silvestri, and I am working in the social media channel. And yeah, one of the things, beside, even though we hate Meta, however you pronounce that, also Facebook, that's where most of us older folks are. And, we're the resistance. And I'm telling you, those people are engaged like crazy. In fact, there's been a real uptick in people DMing and commenting, talking about like, how do I join? How do I, get on your mailing list? So it's been a good tool for onboarding as well, or at least, bridging over to onboarding. But one of the things that we've been noticing is that the things that go viral, the things that are getting the most attention are, of course, the original content. When, we create any kind of art or, like the video of Autumn at the, speaking at the council meeting, videos of demonstrations. So we were going to try this experiment of, we're calling it SRI Speaks. And, we, what is it? Yeah, I had a little thing written out here. Let's see. We want to encourage people to submit their own original content, like, their photos of protests and events, their videos of protests and events, essays, poetry, videos of yourself reciting your essays and poetry, painting, ceramics, fiber art, crafts, dance, singing, digital images, and on and on. We just, want people to like have a home where they can put this stuff, anything that's like resistance related. So we're kind of working out the logistics of the submission process, but we'll let you know. I mean, Felix is kind of working on a Google Doc, because what we found is we were going to have people submit to the social media work group channel, but it really degrades. Slack just really degrades a lot of the images and whatnot. So we're trying to come up with something a little bit better. But we're gonna like really start hounding people and seeing if they want to submit. Yeah, that's it.
And come on.
Hi. Sorry. I was gonna try to type what Felix's slide said for Kendra, but I can't double task quite to that degree. Um, okay, so next would be Peter with Visibility Brigade. Hi, Peter Burgell.
Hi there. I'm Peter, and we've been going out usually at least once a week to do banner drops over the freeway. And often we go out and do bullhorn bulletins. If you know what that is, we go down and stand on the corner, usually at Trade and Liberty. And we point a sign at whichever direction is, there's traffic going by in two directions there. And we point a sign at whichever direction. And we've been using a couple of different signs. We've been using the big no ice sign, and I'll show you a picture of what that looks like. This is over the freeway here. So that's this guy right here. And we've also been using this honk for no ice sign quite a bit. And so we're getting honks, which is really a good thing because it tells us how many people are kind of with us. and we kind of do an estimate of how many we get. We don't actually count them, but we just do an estimate. And I would say about maybe 10% of the people who go by will honk for us. And then we also kind of are doing the same kind of estimates of how many people give us negative indications, raise middle fingers or waving us down or giving us thumbs down. And we figure it's about a tenth of the people who honk. It's just a guess. Now, on the freeway here, we figure that on a good day, on a normal day, uh, we get about 4,500 cars going by and seeing this uh, every hour. So if we're out there for 2 hours, it's like 9,000. If we were out there for an hour and a half, you can do the math. So, and then on the street corner, when we do the Bullhorn Bulletin, we figure there's about 3,200 cars go by that intersection per hour. And so it's a pretty good way to get the word out to people. And also, it's a pretty good way to indicate or to get an indication as to how many people are with us versus how many people are against us. And one other thing I wanted to mention is that I'd say that the number of honks that we get uh, has probably doubled since the Renee Good murder. It's been real obvious that it's a whole lot more.
Yeah.
And so I think this is kind of a thing that's worth doing. Certainly not the only thing that we should be doing, but it's not the only thing we're doing. So that's good, and we're able to, and I especially like the honking because when people actually do something like that, they're making a commitment. It's a tiny one, but they're actually saying more than, "Oh, look at those guys! They're aren't they good?" They're actually saying, "Yeah, I'm with you." And so I think a person that does that a few times is liable to get in touch with us at a later point and do something else and show up at a No Kings or something like that. So I think, yeah, visibility brigade is kind of a fun thing to do. Any questions about that?
I don't have a question, but I think I would say I also experienced the last 2 Saturdays more honks than usual.
Yep.
Yeah.
Seems real obvious to me. Oh, and I should also say about the bullhorn bulletins, Michelle and Don have bullhorns, and they talk to the people when they're at the stoplight, and they have little messages that they figure out ahead of time that they're going to give, and they just repeat those over and over again. So uh, we get a lot of support from that too, I think.
Autumn?
Yeah, Peter, I'm just curious, for some people who are new, the Visibility Brigade channel is private, and so not everyone on SRI or Slack can see it. So if someone were to be interested in getting added to that channel so they could be a participant, who now is the go-to person to ensure that they get added to that channel, and how would you like that request?
That would be Michelle uh, Golay, and
Okay.
my
Bill.
feeling about that is that we should be as wide open as possible. She is less. She has less of that kind of feeling, so she's definitely the leader of that. So it should be her decision, I think.
So if someone here today was not on that private Slack channel, how would they get added to it?
I guess they could direct message me, and I would do what I mean, I'm not real good with Slack yet. I'm just kind of learning that still. But I'd try and figure out how to make it happen.
Okay. Do you think moving forward, like, is the channel still going to remain private, or should it become more public, or is that
Well,
not our
I
decision?
just told you what I think about that, and uh, I think it should be. I think it should be wide open.
Yeah.
Um, and I think Michelle is coming to the feeling that it ought to be more open, but I don't know if she wants to do that yet or not.
So next I have Greg. Is Greg here? I have
I'm
the peace
speaking for
team.
Greg
Oh,
tonight
good, good,
for
good. Thank you, Don. Yeah,
for
peace
the
team.
peace team. Yeah, Greg could not be here tonight. He had another pressing engagement. The peace team has been busy. In January, we had a kickoff meeting and 20 people showed up, so that was good. Our goal is to be ready to respond to rapid response events and scheduled demonstrations, both with and without marches, by February 8th. And we are continuing to try to recruit people and train others who want to help keep the peace, lead chants, provide crossing guard services, and just help with the demonstrations all around. We've got training going on Saturday, this Saturday, at noon at Capitol Park. We're doing radio training because everyone that is on the peace team has to be trained on a radio. That's our form of communication. We have had some human rights observer trainings, not that we did, but some of us have attended them, and de-escalation trainings. We have contact information for the American Friends Service Committee, who provide human rights observer, HRO training, if we have sufficient demand for it. And we are also planning a training session for de-escalators to be led by Brian Zauber Reed, who provides training for the Oregon Education Association. We're recommending that all of the peace team members who are able to attend this training should do so. And we welcome anyone who also is not even on the team to join us at this when it gets scheduled.
Vests.
So
Talk about vests.
Vests. Well, that's part of it. Yes, we have ordered up vests, high visibility yellow vests to make us visible at rallies and at events, so that people know that we are there. They know that things are being watched. They know who to ask for help from, and we find that it has been very, very well received. We
This
have
logo
worked.
this logo is going to be on the back of each one.
Yes, it's going to have the Peace Team logo on the back and also a little version of it on the front to
Right.
identify us. Okay. The structure of the Peace Team, we've worked on that. We have a headquarters squad, an HQ squad, and Brian Zauber Reed is the lead of that. It will consist of a radio coordinator who tracks radio traffic among the people on the ground, from the different units and the crosswalk guides and that, and provides necessary alerts to any of the peacekeeping teams who may be needed for help with de-escalation or human rights observations. There will be a runner as part of this team available to carry messages in case radio service goes down. We will have a police liaison. We currently have a police liaison. It's Tom. In the event that our peacekeeping efforts fail, Tom will be coordinating with the police, and we will have first aid personnel and first aid station with trained personnel available. Then we have the Peace Squad, and Greg is the lead of that. That consists of teams of 3 people, 2 de-escalators and 1 HRO. And the plan is to have 5 of those teams. So we need to do some more recruiting and continued training. And training is, of course, very specific. Then we have the Rally Monitor Squad, and I and Linda Trainer are the leaders of that. And that consists of monitors who will work in teams of 2, working the crowd. Moving among the crowd, keeping our eyes open, eyes on the grounds, watching for anyone in need of help, watching for any situations where there's some sort of escalation, and one of us will have a radio to be able to reach the headquarters in case there is any need to do that. In the event that we have an actual march, the monitor squad will have stations along the march in zones to direct the crowd, make sure they're all heading in the right direction, telling them, yes, you turn here, you go around there, that sort of thing, and monitoring in that way. Let's see. There also in this squad, well, that includes people who are doing cheerleading work, leading cheers and songs, and our crosswalk monitors who are keeping our pedestrians safe and legal. The peace team positions all require radio training. The peace squad, the HROs and de-escalators require, of course, the specific training for those titles. Let's see, we came up with a mission statement. Our mission statement is to keep rallies, marches, and other events safe and family friendly for people exercising their constitutional rights through preparation and ongoing training of the peace team members. And we have a code of conduct. And this is a set of principles that we adopted from Colorado Communities for Justice and Peace from the year 2003. First, our attitudes and demeanor will be open, friendly, and respectful toward all people and the environment. We will respond peacefully to verbal and physical violence by others. We respect the property of all others. We agree not to bring or use firearms, other weapons, illegal drugs, or alcohol at actions or events. We agree to accept responsibility for our actions, and we encourage others to act peacefully and will intervene non-violently to promote peace and justice. Does anyone have any questions? Part of us will be on the street on Saturday with however many people show up there. Felix, you had your hand raised. Did you have a question?
Yes, sorry. My brain isn't working.
Mine isn't either.
If do you have like a little like description of what you guys are looking for, what it would entail for someone to be a part of the peace team? Because I could just make you like a really quick little graphic to throw on social media if you guys are looking to like recruit people, because I think that the peace team, I think it's something that younger folks might be stoked about. I mean, would be stoked about, but I could help with that.
Something that you would really need to speak to Peter about.
Okay.
The peace team, it does require training. It
Oh,
requires training.
absolutely.
And so it requires a commitment, and and more than just training, it requires a commitment to be ready to show up, because we want to be able to have boots on the ground when something pops up like this, like last weekend when after the shooting and the normal Saturday rally at Center Street, which is normally between 10 and 20 people, was over 100. We showed up. We were there because we knew it was happening. Not the full group of us, but we had people there watching what was going on and taking care of the crosswalks and leading cheers and just having eyes on the ground, watching people, making sure that things were okay. So we need people committed to be able to do that.
Yes, no, and if it's the kind of thing that you feel is like you have to sort of be an established member of SRI first and foremost to take part, that is also totally okay. Just if we were looking for, I think even like the post could be sort of like, come to our meeting, this is what this looks like, see if it's the vibe for you. This is where we do the trainings for it. Like, here's, you know what I mean, like an intro thing.
Well,
If
Felix,
not,
speaking for myself and not on behalf of the peace team, when we did the peace team meeting, we had 40 some people signed up to registered for it, and only about 22 showed up. And that was partially because some other big thing came up that night. I forget what it was now, but I think what we really need to do is kind of work with the people that did show up and the people that are on our list before we start recruiting more, because getting everybody up to speed getting them trained and all that kind of stuff. With those two groups, the ones who did show up and the ones who didn't, is going to be kind of a big task. So I would kind of wait on that on the further recruiting. That'd be my opinion.
That's cool. Just let me know if you guys are
Yeah, well,
ever,
thanks for offering. It's a great offer.
of course, also to be clear, any work group, if there's ever any like we are looking for people, this is the kind of thing, just get us the information and we can make that happen. But thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the offer, Felix.
Yes.
Anybody else have any questions about the peace team? Okay, I think I'm done.
Great job, Dawn. Thank you.
Thank you, Don.
Yeah, and thanks
Thank you,
everybody
Dawn.
everybody who helps out with the peace team. It really is important. And it's, I think, going to be more important as we get bigger. And so, yeah, so the
Yeah.
next No Kings is March 28th. We think we had about 10,000 at the last one. So let's see if we can get maybe 12,000 out for this one. 15? I don't know. What do you think? You think 15,
15.
Peter?
20.
Go for 15.
Okay. I mean, how big is Minneapolis? Does anybody know the population? Because they got 50,000 out.
Wow.
I think I think they're probably bigger than we are, but 400,000, Angie says. Okay.
Twice as big as us.
Yeah. So, okay, well, maybe we need to go for 25 then. If we can. Okay. The last group that I have down is local elections with which Kay has agreed to speak about. And then after that, if people have other things that they want to comment on or questions or whatever, maybe we can open it up for a couple of minutes. We're 3 minutes past the hour. So if anybody has to leave, please do feel free. And apologies for running a bit long.
So I'll be super fast. There is no titular lead for the local elections group, although people do post in there. I do want to shout out, there is a group of folks that do attend regularly council meetings. Rachel is probably our most dedicated at the city and the county commissioner level. But there's several people on the call and in Slack that regularly go to meetings. It's super important. We are now in the election season. I posted this afternoon or this evening in the local elections Slack channel information about upcoming elections, who is running. There is a conservative PAC in the area that has big money that is supporting conservative candidates, either as challengers or backing incumbents. So a grassroots effort to really support our progressive incumbents and challengers is critically important. And Felix, Progressive Salem is looking for social media experts to help with local campaigns. I don't know if you have any interest, but anybody who has social media experience, whether you're working directly with Progressive Salem or with any of the local campaigns, they're really looking for people to canvass, knock on doors, and to do social media. All of them have websites. I posted it in the Slack. The primaries are May 19th. As people probably know, it's closed in Oregon. So you can still vote as an unaffiliated. I technically am unaffiliated. You can still vote at the local level because those are nonpartisan, but you will not be able to vote above county level unless you're registered with one of the parties. So you can switch to Democratic or Republican or whatever you want to switch to. You can switch for the primaries and switch back and play that game. And I'll probably re-register in time for the primaries. But it's critically important to be. It's critically important that people vote on May 19th. So there's going to be a big effort to try and get people out to vote. There is a neighborhood leadership program through the Democratic Party to knock on doors. You only knock on friendly doors. And Saturday at the Marion County Dems office on High Street, they launch canvassing teams every Saturday at 10 a.m. So if you're interested, show up at 10. You can get some training. You can go out with an experienced volunteer and you can certainly pound the pavement. So that's my update. Rachel's really active. I don't know if she has anything else she wants to add, or Elise, whoever else goes to regular meetings. And I see LJ's got her hands up.
And Felix also.
Oh, and Felix.
So LJ and then Felix. And I have a question for Angie. Angie said something in the chat. Go ahead, LG.
Okay, my real name is Linda Garland, but I think I'll put the LG on here for in case ICE is coming after me or something, but or that orange ape. But I would like
You
to
said your name was
announce.
Lady Gaga, right?
Yeah, there you go. I just don't have the wardrobe for that to support that. Okay, let's see. What was I going to say? How about I am having a house party at Offbeat Coffee on February 21st for our incumbent candidate for Ward 2, Linda Nishioka. So if anybody lives in Ward 2 and would like to come to that party, you are invited. And it's from 1 to 3 at Offbeat Coffee on 12th. It's right across the street from Furbish. It's a lovely place, and we're in the back room. And just grab your coffee and tea and come on back, and I'll be there early.
What day
I'll
again?
stay late. It is going to be the 21st of February. And she'll be speaking, and I believe Chris Hoy, our great mayor, is going to be there with her. So it'll be good to, get a feel for what her accomplishments are, what she wants to do in the next election cycle, and that sort of thing. So if you're in Ward 2, get that on your calendar, or if you just want to show up and find out what a house party's all about, you are all welcome.
What time?
1 o'clock.
3.
Mm-hmm. And I'm telling her to get there at 1:30 so that we can get our coffee, get settled, so we're not wasting her time with our hustling and bustling. Does that sound good to people?
Yes.
Wonderful.
So just because Angie did ask in the chat,
Mm-hmm.
she says, I don't think money will talk this year. That said, what are they wanting in way of support? So I don't know, Kathleen, do you?
Yeah, so I mean, every dollar does help, quite frankly, even if it's a $10 donation. So it's not just money though. They need volunteers. It's the grassroots efforts knocking on doors. They have actually, Progressive Salem has done some good analytics that getting people to vote is critically important. And so they're really targeting likely voters that are either registered Democratic, even if they're unaffiliated, but vote consistently. Those are the doors that we go to. We're never sent to a Republican or a MAGA door. So they really try and make it positive. But if you have time on a Saturday, go out and canvass. I actually think there are things that we can do to help raise awareness, because the yard signs that Julie Hoy had out everywhere, all over town, was paid for by big money. Even just having banners and posters and standing on street corners. I think there's a lot that we can do to help raise visibility as we get closer to the election. We've started to toss around an idea of hosting a candidate forum. And so I'm going to submit something to the events planning group, and we'll see if we do something along those lines to help. But there are lots of ways people can help, even if it's just small contributions. And I know Felix had his hand raised about something, and I bet you it's social media related.
It is, yeah. Sorry, just really quick, just so I haven't left Progressive Salem in the dust. I know that they need help with social media stuff. Our engagement is just way better than theirs, to be super frank.
Right.
Particularly among my age group. So my hope and my dream is that once we get a really clear how we can do endorsements from Big Indivisible and who we're allowed to endorse, that then we can just collab post with them them. And so it can
Right.
be like a
Perfect.
group, like together situation, as opposed to me trying to like build like engagement from scratch in a different location.
No, I don't think that's what they want. I'm part of their Progressive Salem's communications team, and they've got some Willamette University kids involved with them. And
Mhm.
yes, and so the idea isn't to stay within a very narrow umbrella, it's to push it out everywhere. And they're receptive and they're listening.
Awesome. Great. Yeah, cool. I can chat with the social media group and also with Kathy, who I think is figuring out endorsements and then reach out to them. So
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Rachel?
Rachel.
Couple more things on the Progressive Salem calendar. I know there's an events meeting, so I won't be going, but they're having an event at Taproot on February 3rd from 4:30 to 6:30, which is meet in body. I don't know his first name, but he's running
Oh,
for Ward 4.
Dave. Yeah.
Okay.
Vote for Dave.
Dave in body. Anyway, that he's having an event. Progressive Salem, an introduction to him at Taproot on Thursday the 3rd. And then before that, they've listed an event on Saturday afternoon after our thing, which is Bill Smaldone, who's a Willamette European history professor. He's just and a friend, a great guy. Anyway, he's doing something at the Dem headquarters. He's going to be speaking on fascism in the U.S. And he's a great speaker. I love listening to him. So I'm going to go to that. So just the heads up that's out there on Saturday afternoon as well.
Well, Rachel, what time?
If you
3 p.m. at the Dems headquarters.
Bill Smaldone was also a city councilor for 2 terms and was the council president at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to be in the Democratic Socialists up with him years ago. So he's a good guy.
Yeah. And if you came to the meeting we had when we held it at Laux Auditorium, he was our featured speaker at that meeting. So you might already have, seen him. Okay. Anything else on local elections or really anything, I guess, at this point?
Well, one final announcement for local. Tom Anderson is hosting a town hall at 5 p.m. on, I think it's February 19th. It's in the Slack channel. Christine Young has been volunteering in his office, and he is helping to sponsor a mask off, no secret police constitutional amendment for the state of Oregon. And that's going to be discussed at the town hall meeting. And that's at the Laux Auditorium, 5 p.m.
Thank you. That's great.
Yeah, I'm hoping our emails will be functional again within a couple days. I'm hoping to get Tom what he's been waiting on from me, the information tomorrow. And so I don't know that that's going to magically fix everything immediately, but it will definitely get us on the road to that. So because there are a bunch of other events going on, obviously, and hopefully I will be able to send out an email to let people know about those. All right. Anything else?
Great meeting, everyone.
Awesome meeting. And yeah, thank you all for attending. Thank you all for being involved in the work groups. And if you're not involved yet, but you would like to join us, our next general meeting, which will also it's in person, but it will have a Zoom option if people would like to attend that way, will be February 11th from 6 to 7:30 at 700 Marion Street Northeast in Salem. And our featured speaker will be attorney Ethan Crow from ACLU Oregon, or Oregon ACLU. I invited Sandy Chung to come speak to us, and she referred me to Ethan just because during the session, legislature will be in session and she'll be very busy, but they will be in town, so he's going to come in person. And the majority of the meeting will be his presentation. I've asked him so far to talk about what's happening in Oregon and what we hear in Salem, in the capital city, can be doing to be supportive. But if people have other things that they'd like to hear from him about, please do let me know, and I'll be happy to pass that on to him.